Welcome to a brand new day, motherfuckers. Ruckus Reacts. Back for another video here. I said we were gonna do some more Larry Bird stuff, and I held up my end of the deal. Today we are checking out Larry Bird's stories that proved he's the best trash talker. I don't think anybody really needs any proof at this point. But hey, to each their own. I'm actually pretty interested in this because I've seen stories on Bird. I've seen highlights, stuff here and there. And I like Bird. Bird's one of my favorites from back in the day, but I've never really gone in depth with the trash talking. And I had somebody, I don't know if it was a subscriber or a watcher, one of you guys had requested that I react to, I think it was something along the lines of this, proof that he was the best trash talker or something. It's actually a couple videos you guys wanted me to react to. This is a two-part video because there's the, Larry Bird stories that prove he's the best trash talker, part 1 and part 2. Each one are about 20 minutes long. And we're gonna get into those. Hope y'all enjoy. And it's funny thing before I get started. So I have two separate channels. I have another channel for my cannabis growing adventures, because I grow cannabis. That is Dr. Buds 802, if you guys ever want to go check that out. And I have another channel that has been my main YouTube channel since I started on YouTube way back in the day, but it's got a bunch of random stuff on there. Most of the content is gaming, live streaming, Warzone or whatever. I might start doing some more stuff on that, GTA, Warzone. But where I'm going with all this is I have a mascot. It's actually a minion, and his name is Larry. He doesn't trash talk, he doesn't say a thing actually, but he just sits there looking like an idiot. And his name's Larry, so thought I'd share that. Also wanted to share that I did some more tweaking around with the microphone, and I think we got it pretty dialed in. So if you guys have any feedback or any comments on how the vocals sound, let me know. Let me know if you think the vocals need to be tweaked some more. I'm using a Blue Yeti microphone. I think the sound's alright. Plus, again, we got the external webcam, so we're set up pretty good here. A lot better than we were in the first few videos. Another thing I wanted to add, I was going to do the Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood reaction, but I have decided against that. One reason being the fact that I didn't have the external webcam and microphone when I did it, and I really don't want to go from this quality back to kind of junk quality. That was the big deciding factor. Another deciding factor was the fact that I just thought that movie was the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. To be completely honest, it was funny. It had me dying and rolling at times, but that movie is so stupid. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure how to really edit that in a way that YouTube would not restrict that. And so there's just so much stuff in that. I know others have done reaction videos to it, but I don't know how they got away with it. So I'm just gonna skip that whole movie and pretend it never happened. Oh, and another thing is, one more thing before we start. I don't know if it's the lighting or what, but I noticed on camera it looks like I got a little Hitler stash right here. I don't know if it's because I shaved and I don't know. It's not dirt or anything, but I mean, doesn't it look kind of like a little Hitler stash or something? I don't know. It's weird. Not that the mustache really matters. I don't need the mustache to be one of the goats or anything. I mean, look at Larry Legend. They don't call him Legend for being able to grow one hell of a mustache, that's for sure. Speaking of trash talk, let's get into it.
Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. And a lot of people say, really? You know, they thought it was Reggie or Charles.
Bird used to tell me, look here, man.
You supposed to be a great defender, right? And I'm gonna make sure I tell you where I'm gonna shoot the ball at.
Yeah, he said, I'm gonna get it right here. I'm gonna shoot it right in your face.
And I'm looking at this guy like, he's nuts.
I'm gonna go shoot this jumper in your face right there in that cone. And it's gonna be your Christmas present. I'm gonna wrap it up and bust your head open.
And that's exactly what he did.
If he tell you he's gonna hit a shot in a certain place, he's gonna do just that, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
Being a better player each step I took, I was able to look more than the other guys. I had a green light. I could make plays, but I always knew early on, especially when I was a junior, senior in high school, that the outcome of the game was going to depend on me.
Well, yeah, I interviewed Gary Payton, a venomous trash talker. And I asked him who the most vicious trash talker he's ever encountered. He said Larry Bird.
Oh, no question.
Bird talk shit, like we talk.
Let me tell y'all something. Bird used to tell me, look here, man. I'm gonna go shoot this motherfucking jumper in your face right there in that cone. And it's gonna be your Christmas present. I'm gonna wrap it up and bust your head open. All that shit.
He told me, young fella, let me tell you something. I can shoot a jumper anywhere I want to. You supposed to be a great defender, right? I'm gonna make sure I tell you where I'm gonna shoot the ball at. And I was like, man, come on now, you're not gonna shoot the ball. And so he said, I'm gonna take you over in that corner right there. You see it over there by my bench, right? And I'm gonna give you something, and it's gonna be this jumper. So he went right to that corner, and I'm up on him, I'm under him. And he said, young fella, what did I tell you I was gonna do? And he turned around, raised up, and it was all drawn.
Yo, Larry talked some smack. He really did. The fact that, I don't even remember, I was about to go with that. Blame it on the ADD. Yeah, it's like this man was playing a game of pool, calling all his shots. I've heard that a lot, that he would tell people exactly what he was going to do, and he'd do it, and he'd call it. And like, almost like in the 3-point contest that he was doing, when he set the record there, when he was wearing the windbreaker. And I know he did multiple 3-point contests, but the confidence that this dude's got is what gives him the ability to back his trash talking up. He could back anything up. Whatever he wants, whatever he's doing, he can back it up. I mean, in that 3-point contest, you see that last one he lets go, and he just walks away with his hand in the air like this. Not even looking, because he already knew where that was sailing. He knew where it was going. And that's the thing. There's a lot of people that talk trash. A lot of people that talk shit, but a lot of people can't back it up. Bird could back it up.
And I said, shit, I ain't gonna mess with you no more.
He was the coldest dude I ever seen with that shit, man. Everybody be talking about these greats. They don't be always mentioning him. He was the shit.
Yeah.
The shit, man. He'll give it to you any way he wanted to. Larry Bird was cold.
Bird didn't talk trash to you, did
Oh,
he?
my God. Bird talked trash to everybody. I always tell the story about Larry Bird. I remember him, he was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, Larry, what's going on with you? He says, you guys are being disrespectful to me. And I says, what are you talking about? He says, you guys are putting a white guy on me. Disrespectful. I just started laughing. I had no comeback. But he says, it's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me.
Larry said, I'm insulted that they would put a sorry dude like you on me. He said, no, I don't even want to play no more. He would drop the ball and take a turnover. And I'm looking at this guy like, he's nuts, you know?
The story goes that when he played against Denver, they had a guy named John Hansley, a white guy, a really good defender, right?
Okay.
They put him on Larry, and Larry was weighing his ass out.
Absolutely.
And Larry would run by the bench and tell Doug Moe, who was the coach, get him off me. That's disrespectful. Put a black guy on me. Because when he played back in the day, that's all he played against his brothers. So he was like, I had to torch his ass so they understand.
And Larry got on the roll, started shooting the balls. Every shot was going in. All right, he runs by Frank Layden, who's the funniest guy in the league.
There's that shot again, man. That one from the Ultimate Larry Bird mixtape. When I'd said that's the first time I'd ever seen anybody do that. It was up until I think the Michael Jordan mixtape reaction. I think it was Jordan that did the same thing. It's Jordan or Magic. I want to say it was Jordan, but yo, Larry could hit shots from everywhere, man. I swear to God. Like, looking, no look, this dude's hitting them. Insane.
And Frank is coaching, and Larry says to him, "Hey, Frank, don't you have anybody on that bench that can guard me?" He goes, "So nobody out here can." Frank looked down at the bench and goes, "No."
Along with Steve Jones and Rick Barry, this is Bob Neal. Just moments before the American Airlines Sheraton long-distance shootout.
The All-Star game is in Dallas, the first three-point contest. And he just starts looking at guys, doesn't say a word, and people are getting kind of nervous. Everybody's sitting there, everybody's real quiet. You knew the guys, but you never were around. Yeah. And nobody's really saying anything, so I walk in and look around, and then he finally speaks and says, "I'm just looking to see who's going to finish second."
And says, "I hope all you guys in here are thinking about second place because I'm winning this."
Yo, Bird got that resting bitch face. Got that resting asshole face. Like, just every time looking at him, like, maybe it was because it was serious mode and it was game time, but he just had that resting dick face. Oh, like, let's call it the resting bird face.
Excuse me?
Did you really say that? Who's playing for second?
Yeah, I did. I felt so bad.
When you walked in there, what were you thinking when you made that announcement to the room? Just messing with all those guys?
I know going into that, I remember in the locker room, Robert said something that there's no way in the hell I was going to win that three-point contest. So I knew right then I had to win it.
That chick's had my name on it for a week now, and I knew I was going to win this thing. I've been practicing, and my teammates said I wasn't going to win it, but I came back and lucked out, really.
Bird would luck out again the next year, but in 1988, it looked like his luck had finally run out. He certainly doesn't have that normal Bird rhythm going on. Seconds remaining, has only 7, has to beat 15. That's 8, make it 9, and 10, and 11 as we're counting. 13.
Huge rack that time for Bird.
He's still got to drop one here quickly. 14. This is a tie for the money. Yo!
That, my friends, is exactly what I was just talking about. Not only was that insane how many threes he dropped, just back to back to back. Best I ever seen. Maybe somebody's beat the record by now, but that's what I'm talking about. As soon as he let it go, he just walks off with a one-up. Like, he knew that ship was sailing right to the port.
He knew exactly what the score was. He knew that ball was going to win the competition for him, and it's almost like he did it in dramatic fashion just to make it more fun.
He knew it when he let it go and was headed for the winner's circle.
He took off his top yet. I didn't see when he took off his top.
Larry used to come in the locker room. He'd be getting his ankles taped, and he'd say, "Hey, ball boy, run in and go find the scoring record in this building." He needed those kind of challenges.
He had accomplished every goal. We hadn't lost a game on the trip. And Larry told all of us players and the media too, tomorrow night's the last game of the trip, I'm going to play this with left-handed at least through three quarters.
It was at a time when, McHale was still coming off the bench.
And so Larry scores his 6th point on a left-handed shot.
And I'll never forget it. McHale yells out.
And McHale goes, "Hey, Jerome, wait till he starts shooting right-handed."
And at the end of three quarters, I get 27 points left-handed.
Well, left-handed is one thing, but when the game got close, I had to go back to the right one.
He could hold all these things in his head during a game. So he'd have a shooting drill at the old Boston Garden.
4:30 in the afternoon. I was an early guy. I'd set up early. The garden would be dark.
Late in the afternoon by himself, dark garden. Come out with an equipment guy and just do the perimeter, shoot for half hour. All you heard was swishing.
If he missed a shot during that thing, he'd say that the Bull Gang set up something wrong with the rim. Otherwise that would have gone in.
I'd get there early. I'd get my Stone Age computer right next to the bench. He'd come over, he'd call me Scoop. He'd say, "Scoop, what are you working on?" I'm saying, "I'm doing an early story."
Then I'd say, "Well, I'm doing an early edition newspaper story about your free throw streak.
You are approximating the NBA record for consecutive free throws, so don't miss one tonight or I'll look bad in the paper."
Sure enough, first half, he goes to the line for 2, and the foul line is lined up right where we're sitting if he looks over.
He's at the line. He makes the first.
He looks over and winks at me.
He looks over and winks at me before he makes the second. I mean, guys don't do that today. And he would...
Always thinking about these things. It's like paying off a bet in the middle of a game. He was doing 2 things at once.
Well, you had the Bird night.
I had the Bird night. Yeah, that was a tough night, man.
But nobody was guarding Bird, were they?
Well, we were trying.
You were trying to.
No, but when a guy is literally coming up the court, calling his shots, it's in that game, we're on the free throw line, and he literally says,
"It's off the glass. Who's next? Where do you want this one from?" And he just made one after another, and he just tortured us mentally. that game. He tortured all of them.
I think Bird went by the bench one time, too.
He fell in the bench.
Oh, he did.
And he called that one. That was the one where he fell in it. He literally said, off the glass into the trainer. And, yeah.
His last shot, he said, in the trainer's lap, coming down the court. He shot this high rainbow. It goes in. Ricky bumps into him and he knocks him on our trainer's lap. So it was exactly what he said.
Antoine Carr and Cliff Levingston got fined by Fratello, I think.
And Eddie Johnson for celebrating.
Celebrating Bird.
Yeah, it was the best film session. Every time when I see Mike, we still laugh.
God,
it was the greatest film session.
Yo, I bet people were pissed. You could tell that they were celebrating on the bench, like with the trainer's lap piece. You could tell. These dudes are over here.
Off the glass into the trainer.
And,
yeah.
His last shot, he said,
right here,
in the trainer's lap, coming down the court. He shot this high rainbow. It goes in. Ricky bumps into
Look at them boys.
him and he knocks him on our trainer's lap. So it was exactly what he said.
Antoine Carr and Cliff Levingston got fined by Fratello, I think.
And Eddie Johnson for celebrating.
Celebrating Bird.
Yeah, it was the best film session. Every time when I see Mike, we still laugh.
God,
it was
so
it was the greatest film session ever because back then, you watched the real game and just went, with a video, and Mike rewound the celebration 20 times.
And they show a shot of our bench. Cliff Livingston and Eddie Johnson are standing up there.
I mean, everybody was entertained by this. Even the guys on the Atlanta
They
bench.
got fined for that, I heard.
Yeah. Watch the reactions on the Atlanta bench. You see Scotty Hastings put them, yeah. Watch Cliff
I can't
Livingston.
believe that.
I think this is
They got
good.
fined for that.
And Fratello wouldn't let it go. It just kept rewinding. Showing the guys, you remember they're giving each other high five.
And then somebody falls off the bench.
Yeah,
too.
that was Eddie Johnson.
Yeah.
Eddie Johnson falls off the bench in laughter, and Antoine Carr and Cliff gives each other high five. And our film session was 20 minutes of that. And, yeah, and so it was a bad night.
The first game against Larry Bird, it was shocking. And I'm a rookie, I go shake his hand, and he put both hands behind his back. And I'm saying, okay, he's getting his head ready to play. First play of the game, he says, I don't know where they got you guarding me, Holmes. And he shoots a 3. I was pissed. I said, I was mad he hit the 3. But did this some bitch just called me Holmes? And so it set up for a really interesting game. Because I remember one time I came down and I dunked it on him. He laying on the ground. He fouled me, and I'm pointing. And he said, hey, Rook.
Ooh.
I said, what? He said, I like you. He said, you got balls, but I'm still going to get 30 on your ass. He got about 38, so he kind of proved his point. But I had to pay my dues. I wasn't upset about that because, back then, as a rookie, you got to pay your dues. Simple as that.
It was funny, the first time that I played in my rookie year, I guarded Larry Bird, and it took me about 10 minutes to realize I should be probably guarding him instead of staring at him. And he came down, it was funny, he came down one time, and Mark West was the center on our team, and Larry looked at me, and then he looked at Mark, and he said, Mark, I'm going to go down, I'm going to come off the screen, I'm going to catch it right there, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to shoot it in the rookie's face, and then I'm going to run down the floor. And that's exactly what he did. And I'm sitting there, that just happened.
That's what I mean, man. Larry Legend, always calling his shots. Always, not even just shots, plays. Exactly start to finish how something's gonna go. Not just the shot. He said, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna blah, whatever. I'm gonna shoot this in your face. I'm gonna land in the trainer's lap. Whatever. This rookie's gonna try to guard me. He ain't gonna get, man, 1,000 IQ when it comes to the court.
But did he talk to you, or you weren't good enough?
Through me. He never
Through me.
addressed me.
I love that.
Like, I wasn't even there.
And did Mark West going,
Mark was like, all right,
okay,
man,
all right.
You probably will. Good luck.
And then he did.
He did it. There was nothing I could do about it.
He backed up whatever he said. If he tell you going to hit a shot to certain place, or if he going to take you down to the post, turn around, hit a fadeaway J, he going to do just that, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
These guys came in together in '81. There's Kevin, there's Larry, there's Robert.
Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, they knew what each other could do. And what I did was said, okay, let's see what's happening out there. And you'd see Larry shooting the three-pointer, and then I call a timeout, and they didn't count the three-pointer.
Larry just hit what would have been the game-winning shot, but KC called timeout.
It won't count. It does not count. Boston had called a timeout.
Larry came back to the bench, and he was a little upset.
So he's very upset with that. So I diagrammed the play. He says, heck with the play, Case.
Hey guys, when I come back after timeout, I'm going to go right to the same spot. I'm going to kick it in.
Give me the ball and tell all the rest of the guys to get out of the way. I said, shut up, Larry. I'm the coach here. Okay. All right. Dennis, you take the ball out, give it to Kevin, then you throw it to Larry, and everybody get the hell out of the way.
Celtics are down by 2 points, and Bird is out by the three-point line, and he's being guarded by a guy named Johnny High.
He goes down before the ball is thrown in, and he's standing right in front of the Phoenix bench, and he looks at all the guys on the bench and says,
yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a three on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this.
And he says, watch my hand as I follow through.
And, Johnny High sort of smiles and laughs about it.
And I was supposed to cut off the high post and post up for a second and then go across and set a pick. Well, I came off the pick and I was wide open and I stood there waiting for the ball. I had a smaller guy to post up and Larry just waved me out of the way saying, get out of here, get out of the way.
And then he just turns around and shoots a perfect three.
As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, told you so. Running to the locker room.
As he continues on to the dressing room. Now, that's what you call arrogance.
And for that time, I learned to run Larry's play, not the coach's play.
He wanted the light.
I've heard a number of people say that. People that played with Bird on the Celtics said that they stopped following what the coach said and they learned to follow what Larry said and how Larry played. Where the coach's game is Larry's game. Probably what made Larry a good coach. Because he knew the game so well, had that shit aced. That test, that wasn't even a test for him. Larry Legend, man.
On him. He wanted the focus, and he wanted that ball. And if KC would ever call somebody else's play, Larry would just say, no. I'm shooting this ball, and he would.
I get a charge when I tell someone on the opposing team that I'm going to hit the last second shot and then do it. That's what it's all about.
High game, 13 seconds to play. Celtics basketball.
During the timeout, I'm going through a play. And about that time, Larry steps in and says, Coach, why don't you just give me the ball and tell everybody to get out of the way? It's Larry. If he wants the ball, he wants the ball. After the timeout, we walked back on the court, and then Xavier was guarding him. So he tells Xavier, he says, I'm getting the ball.
I said, I know I'm going to be waiting. And he said, I'm going to get it right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face.
5, and Bird has the basketball. Look out. Larry Bird, just phenomenal.
Two defenders.
He came out right about that exact spot and shot a shot right in my face. And, he was like, I didn't mean to leave 2 seconds on the clock.
Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. And a lot of people say, really? They thought it was Reggie or Charles. Larry Bird talked more trash on the basketball court than anybody I've ever played against. So we playing him the last play. He
Charles Barkley.
James Worthy. He says, you guys don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go right over there that corner. And I'm going to catch it, I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to tie the game or win the game, whatever the case may be. They take the ball out, and I think it was either Danny or
DJ?
The late, great DJ.
Yeah.
You DJ coming down, right, with the ball. Oh.
Charles Barkley talked a lot of shit, too.
Great DJ, that's good. So pass it to Larry, he's in that corner. Now I got to go out and close Larry Bird out. So as I'm running out to Larry Bird, he's talking trash to me. I don't know why you're running out here. Who says that in the middle of the game? He said, I'm gonna wait till you get one step away from me and I'm gonna shoot it right in your face. So I got one step away. He shoots it all net. 3-pointer, good.
Take the ball out, man crow right to the corner, caught the shot, shot a three. Game over. It's like, are you effing kidding me?
And he turned to me and said, you did all that running for nothing.
And he was saying in such a calm way that you didn't think it was trash talking. There's trash talking. You're not going to tell me you're going to go over there and shoot the ball in my face. That's trash talking. But he would tell you before the play even started. He'd tell you where he's going. He'd tell you when he catches it, there's nothing you can do about it. And it was great trash talking because it wasn't vulgar. I mean, he wasn't pounding his chest.
you can just be standing next to him. You know, I would jump out and try to block a shot on rotation, and he'd say, Scott.
You jump high, but you don't jump that high. You can't get this.
Scott, you're a little too late. Scott, you're not getting that. Why are you even jumping? Why are you running out of it? But it was all game.
He'd say something like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, I mean, he told.
Oh, is that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? I think it is. I don't know if I've seen an old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I could be wrong. No. That's Kareem. That's most definitely Kareem.
Talked the whole game, and it was, you know, after the game and after years of thinking about it, you're like, man, that dude, why he's one of the greatest players ever played.
He was ridiculous. He came out here. Our sportscaster played the Superman theme when he was talking about him that night after the game because he did everything. Points, rebounds, assists, just steals, you name it. Larry has such a great mind for the game. I had a lot of respect for him as a competitor.
That competitive nature, the work ethic, because I asked
Kobe.
him a lot of questions. You know, playing with Byron Scott, I asked him a lot of questions. Eddie Jones, Magic, James Worthy, Kurt Rambis, all the Laker greats, I would always sit down and just ask them questions. What actually happened there? What did you feel there and why? You know, Bird tough to defend, why? Because you look slow as shit to me. So like, I'm missing something. So like, tell me what I'm missing.
Be surprised, motherfucker.
You know, like I was saying, growing up in Boston, people all used to always talking about that he can't jump, he can't do this, he can't do that. And, you know, a lot of my friends was like that, you know. So, I got to the league. I called all my friends back up. I said, you know, all that trash that you were talking, you need to squash all that. This man is great. Whatever you were saying, for a man who can't jump, he's demolishing everybody. He's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on the best defensive players in the league.
Yeah, I never forget driving, and I'm listening to a game. It's New Mexico State playing Indiana State. I don't really care about the game, but New Mexico State is right up the streets from El Paso, and I went to UTEP, and we're big rivalries. So I'm hoping that Indiana State will beat New Mexico State. And I'm listening to the radio, and I have no clue of the players on either team. All of a sudden, this name keeps coming. Bird. He goes to the right. Bird. He makes a shot. Bird. I said, God damn, who is Bird? Bird. You know, here's Bird. And Bird this, and Bird, oh, did you see the pass that Bird made?
Oh, my God.
I can't see it, but I'm just trying to imagine it. When the time I got to the end, I said, damn, that brother can play. When I got the newspaper the next morning and saw Larry's picture, I said, damn. Larry, it wasn't you know, be honest with you. The young lady that said you were her favorite player, mine too. I love you too, Magic, but not as much as I like Bird.
Always talk about great basketball players, and they don't never mention him to be up in that round. But Larry Bird was cold. I don't think nobody ever could get out with him.
Ice cold.
That's why Magic had a run, and he was mad when he had to retire in '92 because of what he was going to be missing with Larry Bird. And then you remember Larry Bird took 2 more years, and then he quit because he said his main guy who he wanted to play against is gone.
I'm going to tell this story. We're in L.A., and I'm hurt. I got a pulled hamstring, so I'm not playing tonight. So I can't play against the Celtics. You know, I'm killing myself. You know, Larry's warming up. The anthem is sung, and get in.
Man, see, this is the old school era. Like I said before in the videos, nothing's like the old school shit. You hear Magic. I had a pulled hamstring, so I'm not playing tonight. I'm not playing this game because of a pulled hamstring. Meanwhile, my motherfucking Brooklyn Nets can't catch a goddamn win for the past 4 weeks because Cam Thomas been out with a fucking hamstring injury. A pulled hamstring. Maybe there's more to it than that. 4 weeks now. 4 weeks. Probably 5. Fuck, man.
Introduce, and right before they go out on the court, Larry comes down and says, you know what? Since you're here, I'm going to put a show on for you. So you just sit back and watch, okay? Don't worry. I'm going to put a show on for you. And I'm like, man, get out of my face, man.
want to hear that. You know, that's Celtics and the Lakers.
And he went out, I think he scored 38 points, about 20 rebounds, about 15 assists. And every shot he would shoot, he would turn to me.
Every time he hit one, he look at me.
And I said, boy, you know, the thing about it that I love about you is that most guys talk trash and can't back it up. But Mr. Bird, you know you can back your trash talking up.
Yes, he can.
And last but not least, I'm gonna say this because you told me one lie. You only told me one lie in your career. Only one. And you only lied to the fans and all the people in the world one time. Do you know what that lie was? You don't remember, do you? Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird. And so, peace of mind, and I signed it to you, to the greatest basketball player ever, but more important, a friend forever. I love you, I respect you, and I admire you.
And there it is, folks. Part 1. Larry Bird stories that prove he's the best trash talker. Video is by I can't pronounce that first name, but P.O. Trex Productions. If I got that right, I got it right. If I didn't, well, sorry. It was a good watch. I mean, there wasn't a lot of trash talking as much as I expected. Maybe there will be in part 2. I mean, but a lot of people say the same things. Larry Bird come up and says, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna shoot it right in your face. 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 It's always, I'm gonna shoot it right in your face. These days, those are fighting words, but clearly, you know, back then, you know, that was more respectable trash talking, like compared to like Charles Barkley or some of the other like real spitters. You know, some people talk a lot of bullshit in the games. And, you know, I've always liked the rivalry and the respect and love that Larry and Magic had for each other, because they were rivals. You know, they were rivals, but they were also, they had a respect for each other because they knew that they were both greats. And, you know, they were both GOATs. They were both just beasts in the league. And they had that like-minded mentality, and that, you know, that mutual respect was there. You see, you know, Magic retired. Bird retired a couple years later because Magic wasn't in the game anymore. And you see him at Bird's retirement. Magic signing over the jersey to him and everything. And yeah, he had me kind of stumped on that when he said, you only told me and told the fans one lie in your career. I was thinking it was going to be, there was a situation where he told somebody that he was going to get 40 points on him or something and only scored 39. But only lie he said was that there would never be another Larry Bird. And that's true. There will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird. Ever. Period. End of story. Don't matter if it's 10 years from now. Don't matter if it's 10 decades from now. There will never be another Larry Bird. That is a fact. Anyways, I've talked enough on this one. I'll catch you back for part 2. Ruckus Reacts. Deuces.